Welcome to the Ripped Flowers tutorial kit. This project can be done as one of your calendar kit activities or on its own. What you're going to need is you're going to need your construction paper from your kit or just any random construction paper that you have, and a black background. I like this project. I've done it many times, especially in my kindergarten class for our annual kindergarten art show. It's one of my favorites because you can actually just use any scrap pieces of paper that you have, which makes it really economical and also a good use instead of throwing that paper away. Okay, I'm going to switch my screen so that we can get started on this. Now, as you can see, I've got my calendar here. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to trade spots with it here. I'm going to put my black piece of paper right in front of me. And I'm going to take my little pieces of construction paper. Let's start with red. You can start with whatever color you want, actually. I'm going to start with red. And what I like to do, because I don't want any of these straight lines, is I'm just going to kind of rip and rip and rip and rip. You can be intentional with your rips, or you can say, I'm just gonna let fate take place and see what I get. So for this one, I'm just gonna go like this. Okay, I've got some pieces, and maybe what I wanna do is take another color. Actually, I'm gonna take a little bit of yellow. I'm just gonna take a little piece like that, and I'm going to put it in the middle of my page. And I'm just gonna start, I've got my page turned so that when you're watching, it will be the right side up. So I'm gonna rip this again. I'm just kind of placing it where I think it fits best. Give this a little rip. You can add as many petals as you like. This one I feel is a little long, so you know what I'm gonna do? I'm just gonna rip it again. You don't need any scissors. You will need a little bit of glue. And that's about it. So I like that. I'm not gonna start gluing yet because I kind of wanna see what else I get. Now, another way that I like to do this is when I said intentional or not intentional, I just ripped that and sort of made it work. This one's a little long, but you know with flowers that they are all different and the petals are not all exactly the same. And that's why I like this ripped art for the category of flowers, because it can be very random. Now, I'm gonna take this, I'm gonna do something intentional, and that means I'm gonna do it on purpose. So I'm going to intentionally try to rip a circle or something close to a circle, because this is another way that you could make a flower. And then you would I'm gonna take a little bit of blue, and I'm gonna do the same thing. Just ripped a piece, but I'm gonna intentionally rip in a circle, because then I've got another flower. Now I've got some brown here. I'm going to rip some stems. So I'm going to take the side off because I don't want this flat part. I want it to look ripped all the way around. So I'm going to go like this. You could give it a green stem too. I just had some brown in there and I thought it would add some more color detail, which I always really like. And so I've got another stem. And then I'll show you how we're gonna use our green for some leaves. And a lot of times when you're ripping, you'll see a piece on the table that could work. So I could do a big leaf like that, or maybe I could just rip it one more time. I can turn it to see what I like best, but I really like that. And then I'm gonna do the same, do a little bit smaller for this one. You could do 1 leaf, or maybe you wanna do 2. So you can see that. And then what I think I'll do right here is I'm gonna use up some of my blue just to balance it all out. And for this one, I'm gonna do some petals like this. So I just ripped a big piece like this. It's almost gonna be like a tulip. These are like half circle rips that I'm doing. But I'm going to get rid of the flat end. And I'm gonna go like that. And then I just need a little piece for the middle. And I'm gonna go like that. And then, actually, why don't I show you what it looks like with a green stem. Actually, I think I like the green stems better. I'm gonna make them all green. So that will be your choice as well. I'm gonna switch these because I'm noticing like this one kind of hooks up like this, like a leaf would with the point on the end. So I'm gonna change that. And then this one, I'm gonna make a green stem as well. And I'm just making sure that I see how you could just, I didn't even really hardly rip that. It just kind of happened on its own. And then I don't like how thick this leaf is, so I'm gonna actually change it. And that's really what it's all about, working with your pieces till you get something that you like. Now with this, before I glue it, I wanna show you something else too, because you might wanna make a garden. Maybe you wanna take, like I could take these and put them on the ground like this. The things that I was gonna use for stems. And I could kind of go like that. So I can make a garden. Or maybe you like the impact of just one single flower. So you might just want to have this as a pretty little flower in the middle. And I think that looks absolutely gorgeous. You could add in, with these colors, you could add in the corner. Maybe you want to do something that resembles a rainbow. And that would be really cute in the corner, or a sun. Just some simple lines that would resemble a rainbow. That would be really cute. And maybe you just want to have it blank. Now, or maybe you really liked how the blue flower turned out, so you want to just have that as your calendar page or your portrait page. Maybe you're doing this just for fun and you don't have the kit, but you wanted to make this project anyway, and you could just frame this up and it would look amazing. You just glue it down, frame it up. So I just wanted to show you that. I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna glue them all down for you just so that you can see. So I've got a glue stick here, and I'm actually gonna make this stem a little bit. You don't wanna glue on top of this black, because even though the glue dries clear, it will still kind of leave a mark. So I'm going to do this one in the middle. And then I'm going to put glue on my red petals. And don't worry if it goes a little bit above the page, that just gives it a little extra character in my books. And I'll glue this. And sometimes while you're gluing, you'll notice like, okay, so if I glue this, that actually makes a really cool flower too, just those 3 pieces like that. Like this project, the sky's the limit. You really can't do it wrong. And it like I use that word intentional. It's like you might have had an idea of how you wanted it to go. And then as you start gluing it, you start to like it another way. And then I'm just gonna put that little piece in the middle. And then I'm going to go like this. And I'm going to stagger the leaves on this one. So there's my first little flower in my garden. I actually kind of liked the brown on the bottom when I did that. So I'm gonna do that for it. And then I'm gonna put a little yellow one. So that means that I'm going to take my stem and see where I wanna line it up with this other one. That looks good. And then put some glue on the back of this yellow. Oops. And on here. And I think for this one, I'm just going to do one little leaf. It's just a cute little one. And I'm going to add some dirt again from the brown that I had, that I ripped for stems. This one actually has the straight line, and I actually don't mind it for this part, but I actually always try to have it ripped on both sides when I do this. Then my last little stem, and I'm going to put it right here. And then I'm going to take those blue pieces that I had and make sort of like what I consider a tulip looking flower. That would even look good just like that, to be honest. When I do this, I always think, oh, flowers are so unique that really could look good any way you do it. That one looks like, reminds me of my son's video games and the flowers that want to eat you. Go like this. Oh, I really like that one. And then I'm going to put a couple little stems on. Do one down here and one up here. And then there you have it. You have your ripped art, your ripped flowers. And I better put some more ground underneath that one just to make it all look good. And there we go. And even with this, if you had a little yellow left and you wanted to put a little sunshine in or a cloud or something, that would be really cute. Little bumblebee flying around. If you have some markers, you could put some black stripes on the yellow, make a bumblebee or a butterfly. Just let your creativity go on that one. Now, the last step is, if you are doing the calendar kit, you know that you have your calendar page for the bottom, and then you're going to glue this in, and then you have another page in your calendar. And I think that looks awesome. Thank you for joining me today. That's a real quick one, and it can go a whole bunch of different ways. See you next time.